everybody? All right, how you guys loving the content coming to you at Real Talk today? Awesome, man. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm really excited that everybody is really putting forth the effort and learning right now, because that is what this is about. This is about uplifting you guys. For all of us together, right, as a common, to uplift each other and do great business together, right? Look around the room. Don't you want to do business with everybody in this room? Yes, of course, because you already know that these are the people trying to get educated and making things happen. These are the people in this group right now that are making things happen for themselves in their businesses and in their lives. So they will take the business that you bring to them seriously. Hoorah? All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put together a social media panel. And we're going to talk about social media and the importance of social. If I could have James Wong, Josh Forty, Grant Wise, and Mike Tams please come up to the stage. Let's do better than that. Let's give these guys a round of applause. Tams.
You surprised me.
What's up, guys?
What's up, bro?
All right, so basically it's this free-form conversation. We're going to talk a lot about different things. Thank you guys for being a part of the Real Talk Conference. Really special and important to me that you guys are here. 1, 2, 3 flew in from out of state. Tam still thinks I'm crazy for putting him on the stage. But man, how many people love Tam's presentation? So yes, that's why you grace the stage, my friend. All right, so let's talk about something very simple, right? And I know that we all know the answer to this, but I want to ask it. Social media, how important and relevant is it in real estate today? Anyone can take this one. Go.
I'll go first. So I know a lot of you guys know this, but I'll say it again to remind you. Statistically, 89 to 91% of people use the first agent they think of. So your cousin is going to use you if they're thinking of you, your neighbor, all these guys. So if you're not on social media, which what's the average 4 hours a day right now that we spend on social media? We're moving into a new generation of millennials who, with 180 million of them, where they're all online. They do everything online. They are the next biggest generation after the baby boomers. Highly recommend you be on social media.
Awesome. How about you?
I think that if you're not on social media, you become irrelevant in all aspects, especially in real estate. I mean, you look at like what Gary Vaynerchuk talks about. How many of you guys know who Gary Vaynerchuk is? Yeah, a lot of people know. Yeah.
You think we should invite him next year?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had the pleasure of hanging out with him at an event, and I was talking to him about it. And he's like, regardless of the arena that you're in, but specifically for real estate, if you're not there, you are irrelevant, right? Like, you have to be a credible person. And going off of what you said, that most people go with who they know, the first person that pops into their mind. People buy from people that they trust, and people trust people that they see a lot. So the average person spends what? It takes 8 to 12 touch points for them to buy.
Right.
So if I'm putting out 8 to 10 times more content than the next person, guess who's going to get the sale every time?
That's awesome. So that leads me to my next one. I'm on social, a beast, right? I'm posting all the time, which is how I know most of you guys, right? And so I've been able to monetize on that by creating relationships and then turning those relationships into whatever it is, the relationship we have right now, or a relationship with a buyer or seller, or now that I have Kurz Real Estate, relationships with real estate agents who may want to be a part of our family, right? And putting that all together, how many times do you think people should be posting on social media?
Check. I'm trying to beat the Guinness World of Record. I want to post the fuck out of it. Like, I want to rape social media like there's no tomorrow.
Right. So,
wait, hold on.
I'm gonna turn.
Yo, I'm not comfortable with this. This is like the white version and the Asian version. Can we mix it up here? There you go. Awesome. Now we equal.
So this just turned into Duck, Duck, Goose, right? We got Asian, white, Jewish, Puerto Rican.
So back to the question of how many times a day to post on social media. The answer to the question is on Instagram, it's 4 to 6 times a day. If you post 4 to 6 times a day on Instagram, you'll relatively consistently stay at the top of people's news feeds. I've posted literally tens of thousands of pieces of content on Instagram through my team and I, and that's kind of the ideal touch point. In Facebook groups, 3 to 6 times a day is usually the best to stay relevant. What you need to focus on, though, is not necessarily the amount of engagement that you get over, with all of them, but the overall engagement, not each singular one. So I might get 40 likes on one post and another one get 100 likes, and it'd be like, oh, well, that 41 didn't, perform as well. It doesn't matter. It's the fact that you have 4 or 5 or 6 pieces of content, chances are the 40 people that liked your one photo were not ones that are engaging on the one with 100 likes. So it's just a different, a different time zone or a different time frame. So
right.
4 to 6.
So that leads me to times, right? There are people that have come to me and told me, look, there are peak times that you need to post on social media. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, all the fucking time, right? And so in my mind, I'm thinking we need to be posting all the time. You never know when somebody's actually going to open their Facebook, right? In my opinion, there's no real peak time. That's my opinion. I'm sure there is. I'm sure that Facebook has a great case study on when people are on Facebook and when they're on Instagram and when they're not and what are the high times. I'm not saying post your house for sale at 2 a.m. What I'm saying is that throughout the normal day, it's safe to post just about at any time as long as you have post consistency. You guys agree?
I do. I think I said this. So I don't know if you guys know, but Facebook has an algorithm that pretty much will only publish to 2 to 6% of your friends on Facebook. And that's right. So if you think about it, if you've got 500 friends and you post something and you're like, man, I spent 2 hours writing this blog or 2 hours editing this video that I'm about to post, and it only reaches 2% of 500, that's like 10 people. It doesn't reach that much. And then if only one person shares it, you're not going to create it doesn't reach your entire friends on social media. So one idea that I think is really important is let's just say you're busy and you don't have time to post 2 to 4 times a day, the most important thing you can do is post really, really meaningful content. What I mean by that is, as being in the business of relationships, if you can post that moment where your client's daughter is crying because she loves her new room, and you post that, it's gonna skyrocket in engagement because that's what Facebook is looking for, and then it pushes to 100% of your friends on Facebook organically through their algorithm. What happens then is that one post is worth the entire week's or entire month's worth of posts.
Right. All right, so Grant, this one's for you. I've got 5,000 friends on Facebook. I'm maxed out, right? But every time I post, I'm reaching, 2 to 5% of my people.
Yep.
What are other avenues of really getting in front of people?
It's, in my opinion, Facebook advertising. I don't know that, organic's great, and I agree with these guys. Organic's a great way to grow. It's, in some cases, a more sound way to grow, but Ryan Dice explained this to me the best way that I've ever heard it explained, and that's how do you buy rice? Okay, it's a simple question. Do you buy a field, do you till it up, do you go plant some rice, and then wait, and then you harvest it, or you just go to the store and buy some rice, right? That's kind of a simple illustration. You got 2 to 6% of the people that you guys are out there posting to that are getting what it is that you're saying. Well, I'm gonna go to the store and buy some rice while you guys are waiting, and I'm gonna dominate my marketplace because nobody else is able to have the speed that I have. So if I'm maxed out on friend power, I've got to figure out other ways to do that. In my case, and it's proven to be very, very successful the last several years, is that's just kind of going to the store and buying some rice. Go buy some Facebook advertising traffic. Gary Vaynerchuk also said on stage 2 years ago, if you're not spending at least, this is 2 years ago, if you're not spending at least $1,000 a month on Facebook ads, your business is laughable. And I couldn't agree more because it really gives you a dynamic in your marketplace. And I don't think it's one or the other. I don't think it's organic and paid. I would not advise you to do that. I would advise you to figure out how you can combine branding, organic marketing, with going out and buying advertisements where you can spend $1 and Facebook's gonna give you back 10. Because right now, in the real estate industry, you're getting 2,000, 4,000, 8,000. We had somebody that they got a 22,000% return on their Facebook ad bill. Is that a good investment?
Right, so you put something the other day where someone had spent like I don't know, I think it was like $1,500, and she closed like 20-something homes. And
She spent $1,577 in Facebook ads. She sold 26 properties. That's
off of that ad.
Off of that one ad.
Right.
Within a span of 8 to 12 months. Now, this isn't her
So
core business, but
are you familiar with the Miami marketplace and ad flow in the Miami marketplace?
not
really,
100%.
right? So I'm going to be honest with you guys. How many of you really see real estate agents massively doing ad flow in Miami? Doesn't exist, right? It's very few, and that really surprises me because we have some of the most gorgeous properties on the planet. Miami is a destination place. We should be marketing, you guys, each and every one of you should have a Facebook ad platform marketing your brand, homes that you have for sale, your business, yourself, consistently on social media, right? And really making a name for yourself. Imagine for a moment, if one person in this room did that, over the next 6 to 9 months, that person would dominate this entire room.
Would dominate the marketplace. I agree wholeheartedly because it's something that most people don't know how to do. Everybody knows how to knock a door. It does not take a rocket scientist. Everybody knows how to make a phone call, right? Now, you got to listen to your affirmations, get all jacked up to go do it, but you know how to do it, right? Everybody knows how to buy direct mail, but not everybody knows how to leverage one of the single greatest data-driven platforms we have available today to buy advertisements. So it allows you to set yourself apart. Your first question, is social media important? And we had Stanley in the group going at it this morning talking about Zillow, right? Whatever Zillow decides to do in 3 to 5 years, paid media, Facebook advertising is the least expensive, aside from organic, right? Then you're paying in time. Paid media is the least expensive opportunity that you as real estate professionals have right now to go out and build data. We were talking about this while they were talking. Zillow bought Trulia 3 years ago, I think, for $3.2 billion. Why? They bought Dotloop for $100 million. Why? Fidelity National Title bought Commissions Inc. for like $300 million. They bought Real Geeks for 150 or 250 million. Why? They did that because of the data. So if you guys go out there right now, whether it's through Facebook groups or it's organic or
really
branding,
buying the company, they're buying the data.
Exactly, they're buying the data. You guys have access to some of the most valuable data on the planet because it's real estate related. Real estate agents hold the key to the kingdom, and you guys should understand how much power you really have. If you can go out there and for $1,500 sheep, I think it was like 443 leads, that's so much more valuable in data. Yes, she made over $100,000 from that, which was awesome. But now she owns data that she can market to. I'm from Rogers, which is the home of Walmart, and not a lot of Walmart fans, right? Because when Walmart came out, they smashed companies. And if Zillow, just hypothetical, don't know what's going to happen, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if Zillow went out and in 3 to 5 years decided they wanted to smash the industry, they wanted to leave a footprint, the companies that would be safe would be those that own data. And the companies that would be valuable, that's another key thing, valuable
right.
to Zillow would be the companies that own data.
And we're taking this to a whole nother level. We're talking about building a business worth selling one day.
Absolutely.
Right?
Everybody in here has probably got an exit strategy. I was talking to 3 people today that talked about their exit strategy.
Right.
What is that? Because real estate companies are valuable, but you see guys like Gary Keller come out with Kelly, and 2 weeks ago, he's talking about how much data he's going to own in partnership with all these agents. Now, Gary owns that data. whether you do in partnership, that's yet to be seen. But why is Gary making a shift from a real estate brokerage to a data company? If you guys will look around, the writing's on the wall for the opportunities you have right now.
Tams, from a creative standpoint, right, what should people be doing over the next, let's say, 6 to 9 months? Because I think social media is forever evolving, so I can't talk 18 months from now. But over the next 6 to 9 months, what should people be doing on a creative standpoint to really step up their brand and stand out?
Listening to these guys is data is right, numbers is right, all of those are right. And if we're looking at data, numbers, and everything else, video is the cheapest shit.
Right.
Like cents to the dollars you spend.
I want you guys to really hear what he's saying. Video is the cheapest shit out there.
It's the cheapest shit. Like you're paying $1.50 or whatever else for photos. Video could get you on the cents level. So imagine if you're spending $100, how much eyes gonna see on that particular 15, 30, whatever second you're in, instead of just one photo. So I think from now until a year from now, in 5 years from now, video really going to be owning that space.
Right. And I think, I think it's Facebook that said that they get more video views than YouTube at this point.
They
Right?
surpassed a couple years
It's, I know the data's a little skewed because they count a 3-second pass by as a view on a video, but they have more videos on Facebook right now than YouTube. How insane is that, right? And so that's another tip that I'll drop to you guys. A lot of people are uploading their videos on YouTube and then sharing that link on Facebook, but Facebook knows what you're doing and they're not friends with YouTube. So upload your video into YouTube, but also direct upload your video into Facebook and market that.
What I could recommend too, if you guys are trying to do something on social media for the next 6 to 8 months or year, is really look at mastering your triangle. And there's a marketing triangle that I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of real estate agents are missing, and they just never learned, which is organic, which is your branding, building that brand for yourself. The second part is paid, because if you're creating content and you're not advertising it, no one's gonna see it because you only reach 2 to 6%. So you have to pay for Facebook to get the rest of the world to see the content, the great videos, and anything you're creating. Lastly, the third part of the triangle is your conversion strategy, right? So you gotta have a strong automated email campaign, a strong text message campaign, a strong you or your agents following up, hitting them hard with setting appointments. But if you can master creating great content that's very resonating and meaningful, learn how to use Facebook advertising, Instagram stories advertising, that level, and then what are they gonna do when they see the content? We need to push them somewhere. You gotta push them into some way for you to follow up with them. But whether it's they send you a text like, I love how Veronica was like, text me to this number and I'll give you some information. That squeezed them into getting their number, even though she's not doing that for any other reason than just doing that. But you guys would actually do it for a lead, where it's sign up for an RSVP list for a webinar and you get their email and their phone number. Whatever it is, you gotta create great content, spend money to get people to see it, and then have a way for them to get them as a lead, and then have a strong conversion strategy. If you master that in the next 6 to 12 months, you've got a strong foundation for
You'll
online
own your market.
That's the whole overview of how online marketing works, in my opinion.
Josh, let me ask you, and I'm fascinated by Facebook groups right now because I really feel like it's a solid way to capture a very particular market, right? How do you come up with the content for the groups that you're doing? And I think that this is something for a lot of people. I'm big on video. I do a lot of video, right? And so people always come to me and I tell them, do video, do video, do video. And they're like, oh yeah, but it's easy for you because you're great in front of a camera. And I'm like, yeah, go to my YouTube, scroll 5, 6, 7 years ago and see what I look like in front of that video, right? In front of that camera. You just have to do it, and you have to do it consistently so you can get used to it, right? So what are some other solid ways on your group to create content? Like, I think that fear puts people to a stop. Because they're like, if I create a group, what am I going to put in there, right?
Right. So I think 2 parts of that. Number one is live video. I mean, I know that a lot of people are...
Can you guys hear him okay? Hey, we need his mic up, please.
Can you guys...
Can't hear him.
Test. Okay.
There it is.
Which one am I supposed to talk? There we go.
It doesn't matter.
That better?
Now you're double loud.
All right. So I think one of the things, a lot of people are afraid of Facebook Lives, and I totally get that. I have never been because I love the camera, that's fine, but I've met and worked with a lot of people that are. And so what I recommend them doing, there's an entirely different feel from pre-recorded to live, all right? So when you are live, like, you can't like stop and pause or whatnot. And so what I'll have my clients do is I will have them create a secondary Facebook group, I'll name it test group or something like that, and practice. Going in front of the live camera there, just because that will help them understand that like they can't stop and pause, like they have to go. So that's a good just a practice tip there. As far as a content creation tip, I really like what you were saying in the sense of like the meaningful content. So what I like to do is I will go and I'll pick a topic that I really want to educate on, okay? So pick whatever that is, and I will craft like a really strong article or PDF or something along the nature of that to where I can then repurpose that content a bunch of different ways, all leading them back to my core piece of content. And so what I'll do is I'll pick a topic that I'm gonna teach, and for me, let's say that's how to grow on Instagram, and I'm gonna teach that in my Facebook group, okay? So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna write out on my piece of paper, my whiteboard at home, in my office, I'm gonna sit there, I'm gonna go, okay, I gotta teach this, I gotta teach this, I gotta teach this, I gotta teach this. They all kind of run together, right? But this then allows you to purpose content or repurpose content across multiple different days in your Facebook group on top of your live streams. I try to do one live stream a day or at least a couple a week. The live streams are where I'm gonna provide my most amount of value, and then all of my little pieces of content are basically leading up to or hyping or informing them about little pieces of whatever it is that I'm gonna talk about on that main thing, so I can get a lot of people to that actual live. And when you actually have a content flow, it makes posting a whole lot easier.
If you have a purposeful live, right, I think there goes a lot into promoting the fact that you're gonna be live talking about something at a certain time. Grant, you're really good at this, right? You're really good at letting people know, hey, listen, I'm gonna give you this nugget at 3 o'clock tomorrow, who's in? And then you're consistently staying in front of those people. Any advice that you can give on that to piggyback on him going live?
I think what he said is great, and one of the easiest ways to add to that I've discovered to understand exactly what type of content to create is to break down the transaction. So a lot of you real estate guys and gals, you're busy, right? So maybe you can't go live every single day. That's not, like, I love the advice, Josh, but that's not practical. I'm not gonna be doing that, right? Shoot for once a week. And I'll reiterate, it's dire, it's important, it's paramount to your success that you're leveraging video, especially Facebook Live right now. Easiest way I've seen to create video content is to think about the real estate transaction from beginning to end, okay? Most people buy houses in reverse, right? They go look at the house because that's what they want. Then they call the name on the sign because that's what they figure out they need to get in.
They cruise the neighborhood on Sunday.
And then they go out and they try and get a mortgage, right? When really they were supposed to go get a damn mortgage. Then they call you, and then they go shopping for houses because they don't even know if they're qualified to look at that house, right? So if you look at the real estate transaction, you have a group that you're working with, think about that. You all right now could take a piece of paper. It took me less than 5 minutes to create a 52-week content guide for our students, just thinking about the real estate transaction. First person I'm gonna interview, because I'm a huge advocate for content around community. It's huge. I'm gonna interview the people that are closest to me, the business vendors who also have influence in the local community, and I'm gonna give them the attention. So I'm gonna interview a mortgage officer, and then I'm gonna interview an insurance agent, and then I'm gonna interview a title agent, and then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna interview a contractor, and I'm gonna interview my painter, I'm gonna interview my lawn guy, I'm gonna interview my cleaning lady, I'm gonna interview the dog,
by the way,
the
forever,
deck builder,
right?
like it just keeps going and going and going and going and
like
going.
if I'm farming a particular area, let's say Coconut Grove, I would be interviewing owners of restaurants in Coconut Grove.
Absolutely.
I'd be interviewing business owners in Coconut Grove, talking about what it is. Not even pitching, hey guys, I'm a realtor and I sell houses. Not pitching that, but promoting this person, right? But what you're doing is creating more attention, more eyes on your social media is what you're saying.
And if you plan that, and the way that I do this in groups is I go behind the scenes a lot. So a lot of people on Facebook, they see our published stuff, they see our produced stuff, our edited stuff. My brother does a great job with that. But the group, I make them feel special. Hey guys, behind the scenes at Real Talk Con, here's what we're doing. So if I had a Facebook group, I would go behind the scenes, right? Let these people see behind the scenes what it's like to interview, Joe the tire guy.
Right.
And go live. Let them have that entire experience with you.
Right.
Let everybody else see the published and the produced and the polished stuff. But in building a brand, you're building a connection. You've got to be able to connect with these people. So if you go live and you let people know you've got imperfections, because I'm here to tell you guys, like, some of you meeting me for the first time, this is me. It doesn't change on a video, right? This is me. So if you don't like a video interaction, why are we even having this type of interaction? There's not a lot of difference. It's more or less what's going on in your mind.
I love what you're saying right now because I often tell people just one take it, right? I one take almost all my videos.
Absolutely.
If I mess up in the video, guess what? I'm human, dude. I'm human.
Well,
right?
we as if you look
Expect
at major
that from
brands,
me because it makes me more human to the person watching.
if you look at major brands, Arby's is the one that stands out. Arby's forgot to mention Pepsi in one of their commercials. And so they did a commercial, and it was that dude with a really deep voice talking about, he's usually talking about roast beef, but he was talking about Pepsi. He's like, we forgot to mention Pepsi in our last, so this commercial is entirely about Pepsi. And so that's a funny example, but Arby's was admitting that they were human. They were admitting that they made mistakes. And I'm here to tell you that there's only one person that walked on the face of this planet, and they're not sitting in this room, right? I can connect with you because I know you're imperfect. And if you try to sit here, we're in a room, beautiful people. All you guys look amazing today. I appreciate you guys. But if I can sense fake, right? And I don't like the way I feel when I feel fake. Let people connect with you. Let people see your imperfections. It will help you build a brand like these guys are talking about way, way, way faster.
And to build off of that just real quick, with the going live, and I know you said it's not practical to go live every day, and I understand that to a certain extent, but you don't have to go live in a formal setting in front of your office with a green screen background and be like, hey, today I'm going to teach you this. Like, you can go live out and about, like you were saying, being real and
walking down the
authentic.
street, you're
right?
inspired to tell people something.
Exactly. Like, yesterday while I was here, like I landed, like I'm walking down the street on the way to dinner, and I'm like going live being like, all right guys, hey, I learned this from, Sam Ovens today as I was, on the plane doing this, like teaching and educating. If you're out on a house, doing something like that, hey guys, 5, 7, 8 minutes, the ideal time I think is between 10 and 13 minutes for a live stream is like peak engagement, right? So a quick 10-minute video while you're out and about prospecting or things like that, then that creates, like, you become real, like you were talking about, right? And it's like, oh, you're actually out doing what it is. Is that gonna get less views? Absolutely, it will. But the people that are going to consume that content, it's like a podcast listener. Podcast listeners are buyers. People that watch your live stream, they're more likely to actually engage and buy with you. So I love what you're saying there.
All right, guys, thank you so much for being a part of this panel. We appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, boss. All right, you guys doing well out there? Yeah, I saw in the last one, like there was a line 15 feet long for Cafecito in that corner over there. I want to let all of you know that we're on that line, that there's another one in that corner. Just pointing it out. All right, guys, I hope that you're loving what you're seeing today. If you guys want to connect with me on a personal level, do this. I didn't make a slide or anything like that, but pull out your phones, open the internet real quick. I'll wait. If I don't see you moving, I'll wait longer. Let's go. Pull out your phones, open the internet, go to David Kurz 360, davidkurz360.com, all right? And you'll be able to connect with me on every single platform, period, all right? My Instagrams are on there, my Facebooks are on there, my websites are on there. Everything is on there that you need to know about David Kurz, including my contact information, email, phone number, and everything else. If you ever want to connect with me for anything, a little powwow, one-on-one, you don't know how many times I get calls from people saying, hey, Dave, listen.